Hi there, how are you? Now it's time for us to move on into, well, as what you've seen in the titles. Today, I'm giving you the secret that most musicians don't want to give you. Because with this one technique, this one precious knowledge, you'll be able to play all the modes. And with given this, well, let's put it this way. If you only know how to play one major scale, this knowledge will help unlock your knowledge into playing the different modes of music, as well as all all the scales that are available, more or less, except for those weird sounding scales. But basically, you'll be given freedom if you know how to look at the scales. Okay. A few years ago, while I was studying on how to play using the different modes of music as well as the scales of music, I found out that it's just as easy as the following. First of all, in order for you to unlock the secret to playing the different modes of music, by now you should be able to master the major scale. Okay, it's just as easy as the, okay, let's say we're going to play the C major scale. So, and then the next is a whole tone, then whole tone, half tone, whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, and half tone to go back to its root. Okay. Now, this is the also what you call as the Ionian mode for playing, because we were simply playing the major scale. Now, if you try to look at the diagram that I showed you earlier, you have to view it in this manner. So, number one, which is C, you should read it as the Ionian of C is played using the C major scale. Next note is D, so you should read it as the Dorian of D is played using the C major scale. Okay? And then the third note is E, so we should read it this way. The Phrygian of E is played using the C major scale. Okay, and then we move on to the fourth note, which is the F note. So F Lydian is played using the C major scale. And then we move on to the fifth note, which is the Mixolydian. Mixolydian of G is played. The Mixolydian of G is played using the C major scale. And now we go to the sixth note, which is the natural minor of the C major scale, which is the A minor. So the A minor scale, or the Aeolian of A, or A Aeolian mode, is played using the C major scale. Okay, and the last of the modes is the Locrian. The Locrian of B, or the seventh note of C, which is B, we read it as the Locrian mode of B is played using the C major scale. Okay, so there you have it. Now let's have some example using that knowledge. Let's say we want to play the D Dorian. Okay, we want to play in the D Dorian mode. So let's try this one. So that's just a sample of how we use the major scale into finding out what modes we can play using the major scales. Now let's say we have a different major scale, which is in D. Of course, the D major scale is composed of different notes. So the same rule will follow. So D, E, sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So those notes of the D major scale are as follows: D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D, the root note. So in that order, we can say, or we can already tell what modes, or on what modes will the D major scale be utilized. So for D, Ionian. For E, let me share this with you, the one that we presented earlier, the code, which is, or the mnemonic, which is: in dark places lurks monsters and lobsters. So in dark places lurks monsters and lobsters. I for Ionian, D for Dorian, P for Phrygian, L for Lydian, M for Mixolydian, A for Aeolian, and the last one, L for Locrian. So in using the D major scale, we simply follow the same rule. So instead of reading the table from left to right, we have to read it from, well, right to left. So the Ionian of D is played using the D major scale, which is the major scale of D. Next is E. The Dorian of E is played using the D major scale. Again, the Dorian of E, or E Dorian mode, is using the D major scale. F sharp. The Phrygian of F is played using the D major scale. The Lydian of G is played using the D major scale. The Mixolydian of A is played using the D major scale. The Aeolian of B is played using the D major scale. And C sharp Locrian is played using the D major scale. And it will apply on and on to all the other set of scales. That's how you'll find out the modes wherein you're to play. So this time around, we're going to use the Phrygian of E, which is played using the C major scale. So okay, there you have it. I wish you good luck and stay cool.